What is a working person?
Now, to answer that, the easy answer is anybody who works. Anybody who sells the easy answer would be anybody who sells their labour and time to somebody else is a working person. Now, a clever politician or a sneaky politician would then argue, well, first of all, what does the word working mean? So we need to define what working means. A person's easy to define, I think that's anybody. But everyone will have a different definition of what the word working means. At the moment, well, first of all, me and you would think, well, it's anybody. But they've already said, oh no, not rich people, because we don't class that as work. Yeah. Not people who aren't doing manual stuff, that doesn't work. Not people who've got shares, that doesn't work. Yeah. One of his examples was somebody who can't write a cheque to get himself out of trouble. It's like, well, I can't. I don't have a checkbook. Who's got a checkbook these days? Anyone who can't, I can't write a cheque, idiot. So, and then the next day come up with another description of what it means. Someone asked him again, and he went, a working person, they know who they are. So now it's now self-identifying.
It's self-identifying, but regardless of that, they're going to attack people who don't fit into that category. Yeah, because it's interesting, because this pathetic thing you said about a working person who can write a cheque, or a working person is not somebody, a landlord isn't a working person, because they own property. Yeah. So the fact you might be getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, spending a full day working, fixing your property, or whatever, renting it out, whatever, barely making any money, as a landlord, you're not a working person. Yeah. I mean, I've been up this morning. I was up early this morning. I had an early meeting at 8 o'clock. I've been working all day. I think I said to you, I'm really packed out today. Come over here, drove over here. We're sitting down here doing this now. But by his definition, I'm not a working person. Yeah. Now, I really resent that, because I have spent, since I was 18, I have not stopped working. Yeah. I have worked all my life, every day, hard, got up, gone to work, full days, full weeks, I've never spent any period now in my life not working, getting up and going to work. But I'm not a working person. I just don't count. No.
Well, that's because he intends to hammer you.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So basically, a working person is somebody he can't hammer, is basically what it is, isn't it? That's what it is. Somebody he can't hammer for tax, basically. And again, this utopian society...
Well, he's still going to hammer them on tax, just not on what most people think is tax. He's not going to touch PAYE, he's not going to touch employees' national insurance, and he's not going to touch VAT. Everything else is going up. He's going to be looking at increasing everything else. Yeah. Fuel duty, they're looking at 6p a litre going up. That's a big jump, 6p a litre. Yeah. And he's going to be taxing everything else. He's already announced now that they're not going to be funding the cheap bus fares after next year.
Yeah. They're down, aren't they, from 3 quid to 2 quid.
Yeah, and what do you want? That pensioners, free bus fare, and pensioners, prescriptions, all these things is... So people will be feeling it. He's just not going to hit the big one.
But they do. What he doesn't understand is they get it anyway. So what happens is, if he increases, I've said this to you before, the costs of the payroll by increasing employers NI, not employees NI, all that good business people do is cut the payroll. Yeah. And how do you cut your payroll?
Sack people.
Sack people. That's all that starts to happen, basically. Yeah. So as he levies these taxes on wealthy people, what's happening? We're seeing it happen now, aren't we? The biggest brain drain from this country in decades.
Yeah, since the 70s.
All our creatives, our entrepreneurs are leaving the country. He increases the tax on companies. What do companies do? They lay people off, don't they? And employment or unemployment is starting to increase again, despite the fact we still have that 11 million people on benefits or whatever.
Yeah, about 10 million.
Yeah.
Who are not working, some are on benefits, some are not.
So he doesn't know what a working person is, because he's never, again, this is somebody who's lived a very privileged life, lived a very protected life, doesn't understand the reality, doesn't go and sit at McDonald's for 2 hours, and we talked about that again, he doesn't understand the reality of most people's lives. He has a vision in his head of what this sort of idyllic working person is like. and he's trying to create a utopia for them.
Well, it starts Marxist vision again, isn't it? It's the proletariat against the bourgeoisie.
Yes.
So he's not going to tax the proletariat. He's going to tax the bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
And it's splitting. Yeah. Again.
But
Good guys, bad guys.
It doesn't exist like that anymore, does it? There's a much broader spectrum of people and how and he's hitting lots of people who are trying to progress in life, make more money or whatever. But it's hard.
But he's not doing it for the public sector. So the national insurance increases will not affect the public sector.
Yeah.
How sneaky is that?
Yeah.
That's where the unions are. That's where most of his voters are. That's where most of the woke left idiots are. All in the public sector. Oh, let's not increase their national insurance.
But that's how totalitarian societies develop, don't they? You end up, it's like with communist Russia. Was it something like 70% of the population working for the government? You know, and so everybody works for the government. There's no productivity. Everybody gets a crappy wage, live horrible lives because nobody's providing any services for them.
But it's equal because it's all shit. Unless you're in the Politburo, in which case you're one of the top guys.
But I remember even at school we used to talk about communist, because it was communist Russia then.
Yeah.
And they said, so the teachers even then used to say to me, oh, everybody in Russia's got a job. You know? It's like, everybody gets a job in Russia. I thought, they presented it, even then they were presenting it as some sort of bloody utopia.
Well, same with the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
All those slaves got jobs. Just because you've got a job doesn't mean it's a good job, doesn't mean you're not treated well, doesn't mean you get any money, you don't get any food. So, yeah. But this is the communist Marxist utopia, isn't it? It's like a virus in some people's heads. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers, I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.